By the way, the idea of a Clinton v. Bush race is just, it's offensive to most people.
Sure.
It just seems wrong. And there's a really good piece written by, do I have the guy's name? I'll look it up. It's good. He's got a blog called, I think, LibertyManiacs. I edited this too quickly to save paper because I'm very, very green. But his big thing is we now officially have an oligarchy, government by the few, or government in which a small group exercises control, especially for corrupt and selfish purposes. We have an oligarchy. And this guy's thing is, one of his things, he's designed some really clever bumper stickers, yard signs, etc., that are parodies of the campaign signs, but instead of "Oh, Obama," it's "Oh, oligarchy." And instead of, ready for Hillary, it's ready for oligarchy. And then, and he absolutely cuts both ways. Here's a big yard sign that he said was incredibly popular. He had it in his yard, and people would stop by and take their picture next to it. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Oligarchy. And it's the O from Obama and the R from the Republican Party. And it shows, let's see, who's that? Is that Cheney and Bush and Obama and Pelosi and Hillary and Mitt? And is that Biden? It's hard to tell. And they're all laughing uproariously. But he keeps getting sued. And First Amendment-wise, his case is absolutely open and shut. But all the parties and the candidates keep suing him. And he's got this lawyer. I don't know if he pays for the lawyer's work or whatever. But he spends half his time fighting legal battles. He actually, he won. It was adjudicated, settled. He had a First Amendment case against the NSA and the DHS, in which he was mocking them. And government agencies tried to sue the guy for his mocking. But how can you possibly argue that it's not an oligarchy if we have Clinton and Bush again?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's just silly. There's 350 million people kicking around in this country. And I don't want to sound like a simpleton. I mean, it's not out of the question that two people from the same family, or, three in one case, would be, qualified and pretty damn good candidates. They're in the government business. It's just, I don't know. I think it's instinctively repugnant to a free
absolutely.
people.
There's clearly too much something going on. If you end up with a couple, two or three from one family in the span of 20 years being president, that there's clearly too much. You've got to be connected or something.
How about this? Here's the T-shirt he made. National Security Agency, peeping while you're sleeping. The NSA, the only part of the government that actually listens. And they tried to sue, the government sued him to have him stop making those T-shirts.
Because?
I don't know.
Because that's their logo?
Yeah.
It's infringement of some sort?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he points out, and listen, we've actually been on the receiving end of this thing. He points out that something is seriously wrong with our society if parodies like these can be challenged, and people are so afraid they'll just lay down when they get a frivolous takedown letter from some hack lawyers pushing down independent criticism from artists and humorists, et cetera, et cetera. We've had, it was a company, say, "Oh, you're right, but we'll just spend you into bankruptcy. I mean, you can fight us if you want, but we'll ruin you."
At which point you give up, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the principle at stake in that case was not nearly important enough to do that. I mean, if it was freedom and the red, white, and blue, maybe. But not at the time. Anyway, you know what? We ought to have a link to this website. It's a really interesting, the article about all the harassment he's taken. He's got a lawyer now who works with him, and they blasted back at the Hillary campaign and said, "Oh, yeah? You've cost us profits. You've cost us time and energy. We're suing you, you sons of bitches." So we'll see what happens there.